Good afternoon, everybody. It's Marcia from Kansas Misfit. Yep. And I don't know if I've told you a lot of different things about trying to catch a supply of things to have for future in case we have one of those blackouts or whatever. We have no electricity and no way of cooking, no way of having things. You need to store your food and your water, and I was trying to tell you how much that you needed per person, how much for a 2-week period of water. You need 17 gallons of water per person to last for 2 weeks. Anyway, today I'm going to talk to you from the same book, some of the fuel production that you can collect up and make a DIY. Well, they have 4 here. I've already did one, but I'm going to read it to you in case some of you might be new and don't know about it. And then you can make your own and have a collection for yourself. That way you can have some fuel saved up for when there's no wood or coal or things to make fire. Okay, fuel production number 1 says, when a source of a source of coal or wood is not available, fuel can be made by the following methods. Number 1, the newspaper log. That's what I showed you a while back. You can look on my videos and find it. The newspaper logs says divide newspapers into sections and fold the sections into the size of half of a page, and then soak the folded sections in a tub of water in which a tablespoon of detergent has been added. And while they're still wet, roll the section individually onto a rod about an inch in diameter, and then squeeze out the excess water, and then slide the rows off of the rod and let it stand them on end and let them dry. And then the rows are ready to use as fuel when they're completely dry. You just stack them up like a little teepee, light it on fire, and then add your sticks and logs, and if you can find them, to make you a fire to cook or heat your house or your room or your tent or whatever you're sleeping in. That's number 1. Number 2. Now, I don't have everything it takes to make that yet. I just ordered my oils from Oils and Wellness with Marcia. I just ordered, you can check that channel out if you haven't already. Oils and Wellness with Marcia, that's my other channel. And when I get my things I ordered, hopefully there's some how do you pronounce it? Corrugated paper. It's sort of like cardboard but thinner, and it's got ridges in it. You take them, you cut them into strips, and about 1.5 inches width, so about so big. Cut them in strips, then roll them up and put them like in an empty tuna can or cat food can, something small like 1 inch tall, 3 inches, 4 inches in diameter. And roll them up tightly and fit it in the tuna can fish. Then you pour melted paraffin wax into the can so that it soaks up all that paper and fills up to the remaining space in the can. And each can will burn from 1.5 to 2 hours, so you can have a candle or have some light that'll last at least almost 2 hours. Homemade candles without wicks. You just put that cardboard rolled up inside the tuna can as tight as you can, and then pour melted paraffin wax over it. And then when you're ready when you need the light that candle, and that paraffin wax will melt, and then it'll last up to 2 hours. You have a little candle. I'll make some of those and show you how to do that once I get the coordinated paper, so I can, and some cans saved up. I can make some of those up, because I'm going to stock up on those and have some candles to have light. The third one is briquettes. Now, if you're not familiar with the channel the Hollard, the Hollards, Hollers, the Hollers. Ben and his wife's name's I was gonna say Rebecca. No, Ben and Rachel. Ben, I know Ben's the husband's name. And they have 4 boys and a little girl, and they just moved to North Carolina, and they have some land. They fixed up their trailer that was there, rebuilt it. It's brand new now, and they have, of course, orange dirt, like Oklahoma dirt, and they're building everything. And he made his own briquettes by taking like a 50-gallon barrel, trash barrel, the metal ones, and drilled holes in it so the air can escape, the heat can escape, and it won't explode or whatever. That way it has air circulation. Throw you some tree branches in there after you trimmed up some trees from the yard that needed cleaned up or whatever. Take all those branches, take the leaves off, let the goats eat them if you have goats, and then put those branches into that bucket and just burn them. Don't burn them all the way. Burn them until they're charcoal. And then take that, put the fire out, and then you take those branches and break them up, and you have charcoal briskets. And here's what it says on here. That's what he did. So go follow his channel. He'll have that on his channel if you want to see it. I don't have the link. You just have to look for it. Briquettes. It says, punch a few holes in an empty can. Place in the can some flammable items as pieces of twigs, limbs, and branches from fruit, nut, and other hardwood trees, or black walnuts, peaches, and apricot pits. And then secure the lid on the can and heat the can in a hot fire until until the flames from the can turn yellow-red. Remove the can from the fire and place it to cool. Store the briquettes in a moisture-proof container until they're needed for fuel. I guess what he was making is the things like briquettes that you put in for a smoker or put in for your grill when you're cooking. So that's a different thing. But this here is like, you go collect some walnuts and pecans and peaches and apricots and plums, the pits out of them, the peach, all those seeds, and then put those in a can and burn them until they're black, and then you got they're cold. That's awesome. We'll have to make some of those as soon as I find some of that. Start collecting them. I know the other house we live at has a whole bunch of walnut trees. Then just go around, pick up all those walnuts off the ground, then I can make that. Now the one I'm going to make today is called fire starters, and it can be made by filling paper, not the plastic, but the paper egg cartons, cardboard egg cartons, with melted paraffin wax. Then tear the cartons into cubes, all the little pieces, so you have 12 per container, and then build the twigs and the briquettes around the cube before lighting the paper covering, and the paper on the carton burns rapidly, melting and igniting the wax, which starts the fire. So let's see. I'll make 1 dozen of them so far, so I can show you how to do it. You probably already know by my directions I just read. I'm gonna hold this in my hand. Got my paraffin wax down here. I got my measuring cup, and I'll dip my measuring cup down into the wax. It's already starting to cool onto the jar. Can you see? Okay. Then I pour it in here, and as it cools, I will have the fire starters. I can already feel the heat from this wax in through this on my hands. This is awesome. I believe I got enough in there. I don't want to dump it on me. This is what it looks like when it's wet. So I carefully lay that down. And then after it dries, I can cut it up and make it each individual. Ooh, I spilled it on the floor. I can get it off with a knife after it cools. But that's all harder it is. And then when it dries, of course, it looks like what's on this. And this can be peeled off and reused. Now, when I had like arthritis in my hand, I can dip my hand down inside that wax and then just hold it there inside the wax for a little bit and then pull it out and it's all over my hand. Then you let that cool and then you peel that wax off and then you can massage the oil from the wax into your hands where the pain was at, and it helped relieve arthritis. But that's all you have to do to make your fuel. I hope I helped somebody, and it's really easy, but you got to use the cardboard egg cartons, not the plastic ones. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash the like button, comment whatever you want to comment about it, and I will see you guys on the next video. Have a wonderful day. Ta-ta. I love you guys.